Your car's factory security system is a complete joke. If you think your fancy push-to-start key fob and expensive factory alarm are keeping your car safe, you are dead wrong. They are actually an open invitation for criminals. Right now, a motor vehicle is stolen every 32 to 37 seconds in the United States. In 2023 alone, over 1 million vehicles were reported stolen, and the landscape of vehicle theft has completely changed. We are no longer just dealing with opportunistic teenagers smashing windows and hot-wiring steering columns. Today's car thieves are highly organized, technologically advanced, and incredibly fast. The very convenience features that car manufacturers sell you at a premium, like keyless entry and push-to-start ignitions, have created massive vulnerabilities. In fact, in some areas, nearly 60% of all car thefts involve criminals manipulating keyless entry systems. The most common method used today is called the relay amplification attack, or simply a relay attack. Because your key fob is constantly emitting a short-range radio frequency signal, thieves operate in pairs to hijack it. One attacker will stand right outside your front door or window with a high-gain antenna device, capture the faint signal coming from the key fob sitting on your kitchen counter, and transmit it to a second attacker standing next to your car. Your vehicle's computer is tricked into believing the physical key is present. The doors unlock, the immobilizer disarms, and the thief simply pushes the start button and drives away. The entire process takes less than 60 seconds without breaking a single piece of glass. But it gets worse. If they don't use a relay attack, they might use the onboard diagnostics, or OBD port, located right under your dashboard. Using inexpensive scan tools purchased online, thieves can plug into this port, bypass your engine immobilizer, and program a completely new, blank key fob in under 2 minutes. Some of the most sophisticated criminals don't even need to get inside the car first. They perform what is known as a CAN bus injection attack. By pulling back the trim on your front bumper and accessing the wiring harness behind your headlight, they plug a small device into the vehicle's controller area network. This device floods the car's computer with fake messages, tricking the vehicle into unlocking the doors and starting the engine entirely from the outside. So what is the solution? Do you need to spend thousands of dollars on high-end, dealership-installed security systems? Absolutely not. The most effective way to protect your vehicle relies on a highly affordable, surprisingly old-school philosophy known as the layered defense strategy, or the onion strategy. Thieves are risk-averse and highly time-sensitive. They want the path of least resistance. Your goal is not to build an impenetrable fortress, because a determined professional with unlimited time will always find a way, but rather to create so many overlapping layers of frustration, delay, and noise that the thief simply gives up and moves on to an easier target. We are going to build that defense layer by layer for less than the cost of a tank of gas. Layer 1. Digital shielding and signal management. To stop a relay attack dead in its tracks, you must isolate your key fob's radio frequency. This is where Faraday technology comes into play. Named after the scientist Michael Faraday, who invented the Faraday cage in 1836, these devices use a conductive metal mesh, often a blend of copper, nickel, and aluminum, to completely block incoming and outgoing electromagnetic fields. You can purchase a Faraday pouch or box for $5 to $20. Whenever you are at home, your keys must live inside this shielded container. However, there is a massive misconception that once you buy a Faraday pouch, you are protected forever. The truth is, the internal metallic lining degrades over time. The daily friction of taking your keys in and out, folding the pouch, and throwing it in your pocket creates microscopic tears in the metal mesh, allowing radio signals to leak through. You must routinely test your Faraday pouch. Place your key inside, seal it completely, stand right next to your locked car door, and try to pull the handle. If the door unlocks, the pouch has failed and is completely useless. If you need an immediate zero-cost DIY solution tonight, wrap your key fob tightly in 2 to 3 layers of standard aluminum foil, ensuring there are absolutely no gaps. It looks ridiculous, but it creates a highly effective temporary dead zone around your keys. Layer 2. The physical deterrent. Because thieves rely heavily on invisible, silent digital attacks, introducing a loud, physical, mechanical obstacle instantly changes their risk calculation. When a thief shines a flashlight into your window and sees heavy steel locking the wheel in place, they immediately know they cannot use their 60-second relay hack. They will have to break a window, make noise, and spend time fighting hardened metal. But not all steering wheel locks are created equal, and many of the most famous brands are practically useless. Take the highly popular, the Club 3000. While its bright yellow twin-hook design is highly visible, independent security testing has proven that its locking mechanism can be defeated incredibly easily. In tests, it has been broken and removed with a single swift hammer swing, or disabled with a cordless drill in just 40 seconds. Standard hook and ratchet locks, like the Cartman steering wheel lock, can simply be snapped in half using a standard pair of bolt cutters. If you want real protection, you need to upgrade your hardware. The Tevlify Universal Steering Wheel Brake Lock is one of the absolute best budget options on the market. Instead of just hooking onto the steering wheel, this heavy-duty alloy steel bar anchors your steering wheel directly to your brake or clutch pedal. This totally immobilizes the vehicle. In rigorous destruction tests, the Tevlify could not be broken by hammers, and bolt cutters were completely ineffective. It forces the thief into an awkward, contorted position in the footwell of the car if they even attempt to cut it. If you have a higher budget, the absolute gold standard in physical security is the disc lock. This device doesn't just hook onto the wheel, it is a giant, hardened steel clamshell that completely encloses the entire steering wheel. Even if a thief tries to cut through the actual steering wheel to remove the lock, they can't access it. Furthermore, once installed, the disc lock spins freely around the wheel. When tested against professional car thieves using drills, crowbars, and even angle grinders, the disc lock destroyed the angle grinder discs and stood strong. It is heavy, it is cumbersome to store, but it is an absolute nightmare for a criminal to bypass. Layer 3. The Ultimate Stopper. DIY Kill Switches. Even if a thief manages to clone your key and cut through your steering wheel lock, you can still stop them dead in their tracks with a hidden kill switch. A kill switch is a brilliantly simple device that manually interrupts a critical electrical circuit needed to run the engine. Because it operates entirely outside of your car's factory computer systems, it cannot be hacked, bypassed by an OBD scan tool, or spoofed by a relay attack. There are several types of kill switches you can install yourself. The most straightforward is the battery disconnect switch. For under $30, you can buy a manual switch that attaches directly to the negative terminal of your car battery. When you park, you simply pop the hood, turn the dial, and all electrical power to the vehicle is instantly cut. A thief cannot start the car, hot-wire the ignition, or even use their digital tools because the car has zero power. The downside is convenience. Opening your hood every time you park is annoying, and cutting the battery power will constantly reset your radio presets and engine control unit memory. A far superior, much more secretive option is the ignition wire kill switch. This setup interrupts the 12-volt signal running from your ignition switch to the starter relay. To install this, you will need a 25-amp toggle switch, some 16-gauge wire, wire strippers, and crimp connectors, all of which will cost you less than $20 at an auto parts store. First, absolutely ensure you disconnect your negative battery cable for safety. Next, remove the plastic panels under your steering column or dashboard to locate the main ignition wire. Using a multimeter, you can verify you have the correct wire because it will only show 12 volts when the key is turned to the start position. Now, take a deep breath and cleanly cut that ignition wire in half. Strip about ½ an inch of the plastic insulation off both newly cut ends. You are going to route these two ends to your hidden toggle switch. Use spade connectors to securely attach the wires to the switch terminals and wrap the connections tightly in electrical tape or heat shrink tubing to prevent any electrical shorts. The absolute most critical part of this installation is where you hide the switch. Do not put it anywhere obvious. Mount it deep under the dashboard, tuck it inside the center console, hide it beneath the driver's seat carpet, or even disguise it inside an empty factory button blank on your dash. Once installed and the battery is reconnected, the system is flawless. With the switch turned off, a thief can sit in the driver's seat with your actual genuine key fob, press the start button, and absolutely nothing will happen. The engine simply will not crank. Alternatively, you can wire a kill switch into the fuel pump circuit. This is incredibly deceptive. When a thief tries to steal a car with a fuel pump kill switch activated, the engine will continuously crank and turn over, but it will endlessly stall out because it is being starved of gasoline. To the criminal, it perfectly mimics a catastrophic mechanical breakdown. Since thieves are paranoid and operating on a ticking clock, they will almost always abandon a broken vehicle rather than stick around to diagnose a fuel delivery issue. Layer 4. Protecting high-value components. Thieves don't always want your entire vehicle. If you drive a pickup truck, an SUV, or a hybrid, your vehicle is a prime target for high-speed component harvesting. Let's start with your truck's tailgate. Factory tailgates are shockingly easy to remove. They are designed to be lifted off their hinges by the owner in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, a thief can steal a tailgate in exactly 25 seconds flat. Because modern tailgates house expensive backup cameras and intricate step systems, replacing a stolen one can easily cost you over $1,000, plus the cost of custom paint matching. You can stop this cold with a $2 hose clamp. Go to the hardware store and buy a standard stainless steel radiator hose clamp that is roughly 1 3/4 inches to 2 inches in diameter. Open your tailgate to a 45-degree angle and look at the passenger side pivot point. This is the hinge with the open slot that allows the tailgate to slide off. Open the hose clamp completely, wrap it around that slotted pivot point, and tighten it down firmly. Make sure you rotate the clamp so that the screw head is pointing straight down toward the bumper, making it incredibly awkward and difficult to reach with a screwdriver. To make it even more permanent, fill the head of the screw with a heavy-duty epoxy like JB Weld. If a thief tries to lift your tailgate, the metal hose clamp entirely blocks the slot. Since criminals stealing tailgates are looking for a quick 30-second grab and go, they are not going to spend 5 minutes fighting a hardened steel clamp with a chisel. They will move on. An even bigger financial threat is catalytic converter theft. The catalytic converter sits underneath your vehicle, between the engine manifold and the muffler, and its job is to scrub harmful emissions. The reason criminals are sawing them off cars in the middle of the night is because they are packed with extremely rare platinum group metals: platinum, palladium, and rhodium. The commodity prices for these metals have skyrocketed. Palladium is often more expensive than gold, and rhodium can trade at over 10 times the price of gold. A thief can slide under your car with a battery-powered reciprocating saw, cut the exhaust pipe in 2 places, and steal the converter in under 60 seconds. They sell it to a scrap metal recycler for anywhere from $50 to $800. But replacing a stolen catalytic converter will cost you anywhere from $1,000 to over $3,000. If they slice through the delicate oxygen sensor wires during the theft, your repair bill climbs even higher. Hybrid vehicles like the Toyota Prius are massive targets because their gas engines run less frequently, leaving the precious metals inside the converter in pristine condition. Lifted pickup trucks like the Ford F-250, Toyota Tundra, and Ram 2500 are also huge targets simply because their high ground clearance allows thieves to slide underneath without even needing a floor jack. To protect your catalytic converter, you must harden the target. The absolute best defense is a catalytic converter shield, often called a cat plate. These are custom-cut, heavy-duty aluminum or steel plates that bolt directly to the frame of your vehicle, completely caging the converter. A thief with a standard saw blade cannot quickly cut through a massive sheet of metal. If you want a virtually free deterrent, grab a can of high-temperature exhaust paint, preferably in a bright neon color like orange or pink, and spray paint the entire catalytic converter. Then, use an engraving tool to heavily etch your vehicle's vehicle identification number, or VIN, directly into the metal casing. Scrapyards are facing heavy legal scrutiny, and highly visible, aggressively marked converters signal that the part is traceable and explicitly stolen. A thief sliding under your truck with a flashlight will see the neon paint, realize it cannot be easily fenced for cash, and crawl right back out. Even with the best preparation, we must plan for the worst-case scenario. If a professional crew manages to bypass your layered defense, tow your vehicle, or carjack you, tracking and recovery becomes your only hope. There is a dangerous misconception spreading that you can secure a $40,000 vehicle using a $30 Apple AirTag. Do not rely on consumer Bluetooth tags to protect your car. AirTags were designed to find lost keys and backpacks, not to fight organized auto theft rings. Apple intentionally built powerful anti-stalking privacy features into their software. If a thief steals your car and drives away with your hidden AirTag, and that thief happens to own an iPhone, their phone will immediately alert them that an AirTag is moving with you. Android users also have access to tracker detect apps that do the exact same thing. The thief will instantly know they are being tracked, pull over, trigger the AirTag's internal speaker to locate it, and throw it out the window. Furthermore, AirTags do not contain actual GPS hardware. They piggyback off Bluetooth signals from random passing Apple devices on the Find My network. If your stolen truck is driven out into a rural, unpopulated area, or driven straight into the belly of a steel shipping container bound for export, there are no iPhones around to ping the signal. The tracker goes completely dark. If you want real recovery protection, you must invest in a dedicated hardwired GPS tracker. Professional tracking units, like Thatcham-approved S5 trackers, use direct GPS and GLONASS satellite technology combined with cellular GSM networks. They broadcast real-time, pinpoint location data regardless of what cell phone the thief has in their pocket. These units do not send anti-stalking alerts to criminals. Furthermore, a dedicated GPS tracker is physically wired deep into your vehicle's electrical harness and utilizes its own internal backup battery. Even if a smart thief immediately pops the hood and cuts your main car battery cables to kill any tracking systems, the GPS unit will remain alive and continue pinging its exact location to law enforcement for days or even weeks. By abandoning the false confidence of factory keyless entry, you reclaim control of your vehicle's security. By combining a digital Faraday shield for your keys, a highly visible mechanical lock for your steering wheel, A hidden kill switch for your ignition, physical barriers for your expensive components, and a dedicated GPS tracker for recovery, you create an absolute fortress. You transform your vehicle into a frustrating, noisy, and time-consuming nightmare for criminals. Implement this layered defense strategy today and ensure your car stays exactly where you parked it.